for tuning in. Our next presenter is Darcy Crow of Playgon Games Inc. Mr. Crow, you may begin.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining our webcast. Before I get started, I just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. I'm sure everybody's suffering the same as everyone else, very difficult time. But the good thing is it's very positive for our industry, and I will get into why here throughout this 20 minutes or so. But before I unpack what we're doing here at Playgon, I would like to, I'm going to assume that everybody that's on the call is very unfamiliar with our industry and the industry in general. So I'm going to try and give a quick macro view of what's going on in the industry right now and why we're so excited about what we've built and what we're delivering to the market here very shortly. So we obviously going to tell you a lot of our views here for the new year. So we're seeking safe harbor on anything we discuss here today in the presentation. So the online gaming industry has obviously been around for quite a while, but it's going through, and I'll get into this as well, it's going through a transformational shift here right now with what's going on in the industry, and I will get into that. But generally speaking, the total gaming revenue globally that currently the current run rate is about $450 billion, and in the next till 2023, this is projected to go up to $525 billion. This is like as opposed to, you know, the field that we play in, which is the online space, which typically represents and has represented about 13% of what's going on globally. So last year was around $60 billion, and that's projected to go to $92 billion by 2023. Now, I might add that this is all pre-COVID. Obviously, with the pandemic, there's been a bunch of changes here that will come once reports come out from all the gaming consulting groups that track these revenues. But needless to say, it's all great for, you know, our industry, because the whole world is shifting or pivoting to digital in a lot of sectors, and gambling is no different. So the online casino space, which is what we've built our product for, currently is about $16.5 billion, going to $26 billion in 2023, with a 57% increase. And specifically within that vertical, a live dealer, which currently runs at about $5 billion globally, is projected to go to $8 billion. So as I said, you know, right now usually represents about, and has represented about 12-13% of the industry, the digital business, and projected to go to about 17% in 2023. But as I said, this is pre-COVID, and much is going to change once we know numbers. I think that this number here next year, or through when we know the 2020 numbers, is going to be closer to 20%, which would take this business almost to double. It would go from $60 billion to probably over $100 billion in yearly revenues within the digital space. So this, you know, I was going over everything last night, and I think the biggest takeaway that I want to leave everybody that's listening today is the reacting to change that's happening. I've been in this industry for almost a third of my life, 20 years in the digital space, and I've never seen anything like what's going on for our industry right now. And it's a combination of 4 key drivers that I think are all coming together at the same time to create this perfect storm for our industry. Obviously, the first being technology. Technology is changing a lot of industries, and the gambling business is no different. So it doesn't matter if you're in manufacturing, retail, banking. Everybody in these industries are having to, consider how they're going to distribute their content digitally. So technology is making a big change for the industry, and especially in our gambling space as well. Then, of course, you got what we're all living with right now is this pandemic. If anybody's been monitoring what's going on down south or even globally with the land-based and any gambling that has a retail presence, it's all been affected. I'm just reading some stats here. Macau, 2019 did 3.6 billion in revenue, and now that number is 7.5. So that's an 80% decrease in their revenues this year. In Vegas, 12 billion in revenue last year, and that's down to 7.8 this year. That's down 35%. So you got closures, you got capacity restrictions, you got visitations down. Vegas is down 54%, Macau's down 80%. So needless to say, the pandemic has really affected anything with a retail presence or where destination gambling, and it's created an environment where all these brands now if they didn't have a digital strategy, are certainly thinking about or considering or jumping into our space. The next thing is consumers. It's a younger demographic, way more tech savvy. Mobile users, 3.5 billion mobile smartphones. That's half the population, the global population. And these consumers are changing the way they consume any product, digital product, books, clothes. It's much more driven by the consumers and what they're looking for and how they're buying products these days in the world. And then lastly, you got licensing. So typically this business has been, the epicenter sort of in Europe and Asia. It's quite a mature market, but regulation is now opening up in different parts of the world, Africa, Latin America, and of late, since 2018, where we're seeing a lot of media and hype is what's going on down in the U.S. So, it's only been 2.5 years since the federal legislation was repealed, and I think right now the latest numbers I've seen is that there's roughly 30 states that either have presented legislation or will present legislation here this year. True, a lot of that is in and around the sports betting industry, but there is also casino legislation that's tagged on to a lot of those states that are looking to regulate. So again, all these things are all happening at the same time, and very, very positive for our business. And I think that given the next year to 2 years, you're going to, especially here in North America, where a lot of this industry really isn't well known, you're going to see a lot of media around the big brands in the U.S. coming into our business. And, just recently, I'll throw a few names: MGM, Caesars, Wynn, Penn National. These are all big names, and a few big names in the U.S. that are coming into the digital space very strong. A lot of capital invested, and they think that there's a lot of money, and they need to do something different because their businesses have been very exposed here with this pandemic. So there you go. I think that the biggest thing is I'd like everybody to leave just to think about that the transformational shift that's going on within the space here right now. So, what are we doing at Playgon to take advantage of this opportunity? As I said, I've been in this industry for 20 years. My partner, Guido's been in it for 16 years. So combined, we've got about 36 years of experience licensing, mostly digital content for the online gaming industry. So we've both been involved with table games, slots. Specifically, Guido's been involved in the live dealer space for, again, 16 years, and helped, actually, I consider him one of the founding fathers of this technology, which really only started in around 2006. And it started to take hold, I guess, with the operators around 2015, 2016. So we both had a lot of experience. I was a founder of a company called Chartwell Technology, which we sold to, merged with Amaya in 2011, and then I worked with Amaya, which ended up buying PokerStars. And then I started up Playgon in 2016. So we are a public company. We've been around since 2016. We trade on Toronto, Frankfurt, and just recently the U.S. market. And what we do is we build software that plug in and to big operators around the world so that we add digital content to their existing businesses. And it's very much an industry right now that's being driven by brand, and leveraging my relationships and Guido's relationships, we're quite well suited to get our products into the Asian and the European markets with our history in the industry. We're headquartered in Vancouver, and again, it's just B2B software. We're not an operator, and I'll get into a little bit of our model later on in the presentation. Global business. This is a global business. It's not just related to what's going on here in North America, and we plan to be in most markets around the world given time. And again, we're licensed in Malta. We do all our licensing for our content out of that jurisdiction, which is one of the popular licensing jurisdictions that are used today. Okay, so we get two core products. Live Dealer being the one that's garnering the most attention with us here right now. We do have a daily fantasy sports product that we had in Europe for a network for a couple of years, but we're doing some refactoring work on our client to make it a little bit more mobile friendly as opposed to a mobile enabled, and very much in line with what we're doing with Live Dealer. But for those that join the webcast, what Live Dealer is really a combination of live streaming, social media, skill gaming, and games of chance, all wrapped around the gambling industry. So on demand, you can surf into, either on your mobile device or a desktop, surf into a studio, and you can actually play one-on-one with the dealer. And it's typically table games. This industry is typically table games, and the core games are baccarat, blackjack, and roulette. So depending on what market you're in, and the operators in the markets that they chase, it depends on the type of product that's being played. But clearly, about 80 to 85% of the table game revenues globally are generated from these three games. We do have other games that we will come into the market with that are proprietary, but by and large, most of the revenue the company will make will be made off these three table games. So I'm going to talk to you a lot about Live Dealer today, because this is where we're getting most of the attention with the company currently. So before I tell you about what we've built, I should tell you a little bit about the landscape right now. As I said, 2006 was the early adopters of Live Dealer, but very much everybody that's in the market has the same product. There's really nothing that is innovative or unique to the current versions that were first built around 2006, 2008. Typically, they were developed as a desktop product, and became mobile enabled as the mobile revenues from these operators became more concentrated or highly concentrated as far as how the revenues are being driven. But again, it's very different using a desktop product on a mobile phone as opposed to having a mobile-focused product or a mobile-developed product that we've got here at Playgon. So you got a lot of customers using the same look and feel product that's in the market right now. So there's really no differentiator that they would have as far as their use of the technology in the market. So we've started to late last year we started to demo our product to our customer bases, and we're getting very, very good response. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the customers that we've already announced, and there's more to come here in this current year. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that there's very few companies out there that do it. Barriers to entry are very high when you're talking about delivering streamed content around the world with no latency and very quick on a mobile device, which is we feel we've got the secret sauce, and as I said, we've shown it to brands, and everybody has given us absolute positive feedback on what we've built and what we're coming to the market with. So again, as far as what we have built and are bringing to the market, I think that the key things that I want to leave everybody with here today, and at the end of the conversation, I will push out the URL for you can go into the studio and play at your convenience. It is open on a soft launch here right now for 16 hours. But the key USPs we feel we have and that we're taking to the market is, one, where we're broadcasting from. No one is broadcasting into Europe and different markets around the world from Vegas or North America, for that matter, to my knowledge. And it's very much a Vegas look and feel operationally than what's in the market today. Typically, most of the studios are based in Eastern Bloc countries or the Philippines. Sometimes language is an issue when you're listening to the dealers. But this is very much a look and feel Vegas type product that we're delivering to the market. And it's also, we consider, a premium product, which will also warrant us getting better rates in the market as a B2B vendor in the industry. The second thing is again, as I said, it's very mobile focused as far as how it's been developed. So if you put us beside the incumbents in the industry, handset to handset, it's very clear the efficiency of the UX UI for a mobile user, the speed, the amount of games you can play on your handset at one time. It's built portrait mode only, not landscape, where typically some of the or most of the other providers in the industry have built their product to work as a mobile enabled in landscape and not portrait. Our research tells us that 85 to 90% of the hand use today is portrait only. So those are two of the key things that I think that have gone into the development of this product. And again, we've got about 15 years of IP knowledge packed into this product, both from a player and an operator perspective. And it's very quick. We've tested it all around the world in every jurisdiction, and it all operates the same. It's proprietary. We own it 100%. It's cloud-based as opposed to most of the old technology out there that it is not. So it's built to scale. Very robust, and again, we host everything on the cloud with AWS, and unlike the other competitors in the industry, which is usually based on server farms that they manage and then they operate. So it's for our industry, for this product, it's a big deal to be cloud-based. So that's another key USP that we think that we have that others don't. All right, so just cognizant of the time here. What's our strategy here? Again, leveraging our relationships. 36 years in the industry, so we know all the players. We know the brands to deal with in the markets that we want to deal with. So we're going to lever our relationships. And it's a combination of targeting the tier one operators and aggregators that we want to do business with. We've got a little bit of a different strategy. We don't want to dilute the product so that we have a massive amount of customers to support, because like any industry, you probably make 80% of your revenue off 20% of your client base. So knowing the industry as well as we do, we know who we want to do business with, and we've been reaching out to them or have reached out to them. And again, great feedback with respect to what they've seen so far. And I think, more than anything, again, going back to the landscape, and the companies that are in the market doing it, I think the timing is great for us to come with this product right now. We're getting a lot of feedback that there is really only one player in the industry, and it's a company called Evolution. Evolution is, I think their market cap's about $17 billion right now, and everybody is dealing with them. By and large, they're a great company. They broke the trail in the industry. But again, they're still using old technology, and how they're innovating right now is just coming with new game content and not really, in our opinion, dealing with the way the industry is going, and that's with having a really innovative, kick-ass mobile solution, which I think that we're going to be well known here very shortly through this year, and we're hoping to. And again, we're hoping to get a lot of market share with this product, and this isn't a strategy where, hey, take our product and get rid of Evolution or get rid of microgaming or get rid of Playtech. It's an add-on. So the industry is very much multi-vendor here right now, and because the product's unique, there's no reason why we can't sit side by side with any of these operators with a mobile solution, and let the players decide where they want to play. Anyway, that's our strategy. We do have some proprietary content that's not into the market. We call it Tiger Bonus Baccarat. That is, it's our version of Easy Baccarat, which is a no commission product. We say no commission because no commission to the player, but there's still, the RTP is still there for the operator on the side bets, and we're introducing that to the market. So we got a combination of our core games and proprietary games that we've trademarked as well. So because our revenue model is quite simple, right? Typically we're a SaaS product. We plug into existing brands with their legacy systems, so we're just providing them new content for them to play, a mobile-focused solution. So like any SaaS revenue model, it's based on a license fee. This product, depending on what market you're in, we get anywhere from 6 to 12% of the net gaming revenue that's generated in the studio on the tables off each operator. So in Asian-facing business, it's usually on the lower end. Europe, Latin America, Africa, it's on the higher end. So we use a blended rate in our numbers, around 8%, and that's what's driving the numbers when I show you our forecast. But again, it's the beauty about this industry is we don't have the astronomical player acquisition costs. We're plugging into databases that are anywhere from 5 to, in some cases, 30 million users. and all we're doing is we're providing a great mobile product for them to come in and play. So we don't have to actually go buy those customers, and it's an ongoing annuity, and typically our deals are anywhere from 2 to 3 years with most operators. So here's our forecast for the next 3 years. I'll get into where we are currently, but we're projecting this year at 19.6 million, and over 2023 we feel that we're going to reach around 62 million. This is US dollars. The first year we're going to operate on a EBITDA margin about 31%. In our industry, typically we can reach margins of closer to 60%. So because of the startup costs for us, we're budgeting a lower EBITDA margin this year, but becoming more standard in 2022 and 2023 in and around a 60% margin to EBITDA margin to our revenue. We are planning on, we have made some announcements on our initial customers that we're launching with here, hopefully this month. Again, we're going after bigger accounts that we both know and are aware of in the market. So we're planning on 18 customers this year, and we'll double that in 2022. Checking the time here. So here's where we're at here right now corporately. We're going to launch our studio, as I said, based in Vegas with 7 tables. We have the staff already hired and delivering the content, as I said, for 16 hours on a soft launch right now. We're completing 3 or 4 integrations into the 2 customers that we've announced to date. One being in South Africa, one being in Europe, or Malta. Both are aggregators in that market, so they would have multiple accounts that they service through that one integration. So with Intelligent Gaming in South Africa, they're one of the top 5 aggregators in the South African or African market. And they service, I believe, up to 30, 40 accounts. The Malta licensee we've announced, Swint, has roughly 60 customers, and we've completed the integration into the South African group, and we're well underway with the Swint integration, and we hope to have the South Africans up this month. We're just going through government testing with them right now, and as I said, we have soft launched the studio, and we are projecting to hard launch and start generating revenue this month. So what's our New Year's resolution? This is what you can expect from Playgon 2021. We're going to, because of the customer response in all the demos and the pipeline that we feel that we have right now, we're going to increase the studio to 15 tables here right away in Vegas, and we're hoping to have that done by Q1. As I said, we're going to launch with 7, but we're going to go to 15 tables quite quickly, and by the end of the year, we're wanting to get that up to 25 tables. That's the optimum number we feel that we will need to service all of the markets actually globally. We shouldn't really need to expand beyond that. But again, that'll be driven to how things unfold with customers and markets through the course of this year. We're going to announce, as I said, 18 customers this year we're budgeting. We've already announced 2, and with those 2, we will probably get multiple customers, through those integrators. So, I think even 18 is conservative. I think we're going to do much better, but better to err on the side of conservatism. We're going to come with some new proprietary games here in the next, probably by Q2 this year. We've got enough content to launch what we have here right now, so we're happy with what we've got with just 7 tables to get our business going. Again, very much, Guido and I have relationships to lever in Europe. We're well underway on that, and my plan is to announce here this year some type of a U.S. strategy, because I think it's very important we get into that market here now, because it's so hot, and you're going to hear a lot about it over the next couple of years. We think our content's going to resonate really well down there. Evolution, our competitor, is in there. They're not making a lot of money because it's very early, but still, we have to be there because the big brands are moving in, and I'm hoping to make some announcements here before Q2 with a significant partnership in the U.S. market and chasing the U.S. market. And I plan to do that as opposed to the operator side, with the supplier side, because that way we can scale in that market and service many accounts as opposed to just one operator. So hope to make some announcements there here within the next couple of quarters. And also we're going to get into Latin America as well. Another new and a hot licensing regime. Argentina and Brazil and Colombia are the three markets I'm most interested in getting in. And we are having discussions with relationships down there currently. So that's our New Year's resolution for 2021 and what you can expect to see from Playgon here in the coming months. Quickly, I should talk about our capitalization. We've got 179 million shares out. We got a current market cap of 90 million Canadian. We've got a great banking group that supports us for capital. We are going to be exercising our warrants here in the next month, 2 months, which is going to bring in another 8 million into the company. That's already baked into our cap table. We've got lots of exciting news to come. We expect our market cap to be much higher here by the close of 2021 with the announcements that are going on and with what's going on in our industry here right now. Let's see here, what's next? So again, because we're running out of time here, please go to our website, Playgon.com, www.playgon.com to see about our management team. Again, the core group has a lot of experience in the digital space, myself and Guido, and welcome you to go visit our website to learn more about the company. And I think I'm opening up for questions. And thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Questions? How do I get to questions? Sorry, this is my first roadshow with these webcasts, so I don't know how to get to questions. So anyway, I'm available all day for one-on-ones. Please visit the website to book some time. If there's something that you want to ask me specifically, I'd be happy to jump on a call. But I think that's it. I think that's all the time I have.
And that concludes the webcast. Thank you.